Hey everybody, it's Doug here, Doug Mr. Guy on Board Game Geek, bringing you the next episode. This will be episode 4 of our playthrough of Legends of the American Frontier. That's the artwork from the cover, pretty nice. And we are about to go into the next adventure phase. We've done the sunrise phase and we've set up our adventures and gotten ready to go. We're going to do the bulk of the adventure phase and then the evening phase, and we'll keep on going. Now, someone had asked me a question about these tokens. Wasn't quite sure what they're used for. That's the tokens that we collect during the game, like this fame token, for example, that looks like that. And what they do is they allow you to purchase these reward cards. I purchased one of them last turn, and it went to the legacy of Sarah, and it was this one here. So for 3 status tokens, I was able to purchase this. Elected mayor of a small town. It allowed her to discard 1 failure card or take a true grit, which she did, and it gives her +1 to her legacy. That's what these things do. They give you a bonus, and they also give you an addition to your legacy. So we're going to start our next adventure phase, and the first thing we have to do is pick our actions. And we have a few things up on the board. We can do. We didn't tackle this Mountain Man adventure yet. We have this protect settlers from the Indian renegades, and we have this one over here that says give invocation prayer at the presidential inauguration. So I'm going to think for a minute about what everybody wants to do, and then we're going to flip our cards and see what people do this turn. Okay, everybody, here's our selection for the turn. Now remember, Annie actually goes first, so we'll reveal her first. She is going to the far west, and that is going to be, she's going to help she's going to go on the Mountain Man adventure. Oddly enough, Thomas has made yet another bad decision, is doing the same thing. Our guy Daniel, he's actually going to the frontier, and our girl Sarah is going to rest. So first off, as you know, we're going to go from this spot to this spot. So we got Daniel on the frontier. Up here we have Thomas and Annie going to the far west. And then we got the rest action for Sarah. So let's get started. We're going to first take Annie's turn. Remember, she's first player this turn, and she's going to try and tackle the adventure of the Mountain Man Adventures, rather, which is, as you can see, requires a frontier skill of 14. It says hunt, trap, and fish the Rocky Mountains high above the settlements of Denver, and these are the rewards you get. Plus, you get +2 to your legacy. So she's going to attempt that. Now, let's see what the token is there with that one. That is, if failed, double the failure penalty. Well, that's no bueno. All right, well, let's get going and see what we're going to do here. I'm going to move the cards off to the side. We're going to get Annie's character onto the board. Okay, here we have Annie. Now, she does have a small bit of frontier skill, and this does require a frontier skill of 14, but let's see what she's going to play. She's going to play an 8 frontier skill. That gives her a 9, and she needs a 14. So now we're going to draw and hope she gets lucky on her skill card. Let's see what she gets. She gets a 1, but it says Trailblazer. When played on a frontier or far west adventure with no other players present, this becomes an 8. Okay, well, that's not true. So this is only 1, but it is a trump card, so we do get to keep drawing. Now we have a 9 and a 10, so we only need a 4 or better. Uh-oh, that's not good. 5, and she has no tokens, so basically she has failed this adventure. She cannot win at this point. She has no way to cash out and get a different skill card. Okay, so she failed, and we're going to deal with the failure piece right here, which is to get a frontier failure card. Now, she had a pretty good, decent chance of getting that, so that's too bad, but it is what it is. Okay, let's see what she gets. Frostbitten. Winter comes on quickly, and you almost froze to death. Discard all your happiness tokens and lose 1 fight skill. Well, she had 0, and you can't go to -1, so she's still at 0. This was not that painful for her, and we will discard that. Okay, next up, that doesn't give her any penalties to her skills. That's going to be the end of Annie's turn. That sucked for her, but now we got Thomas. Now, she didn't have any happiness tokens either, so she didn't really lose anything from doing that. Got lucky there. So Thomas is starting to wonder if his luck is changing. We'll have to see. But what has he got going on for him? Well, he's only got a 6 here, but he does have a 3 frontier, so that gives him a 9 base on the frontier skill. Let's see if he can get lucky as well. He does not. That is a 3, so that's a 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. He's off by 2. He too has no True Grit tokens. So wow, they both failed this Mountain Man Adventure expedition. And so none of them got the rewards, but they do get the penalty. He can take either one of those or a hardship. I think he's going to take that, his frontier penalty, and see what happens. We're going to put this back. This was on the 2nd spot there up on the board. And we're going to draw another of the frontier penalty cards for him. Snowed in. You are in high country too long and are snowed in. Discard your hand, draw 5 new skill cards. You can only choose to rest as your action next turn. Wow, he is just getting nailed, isn't he? Well, we're going to discard all of his cards. I guess he gets to choose. Doesn't say... discard your entire hand, so all his hand goes away. And he gets to draw 5 new cards. 2, 3, 4, 5. And that is it for him. So his hand and his... remember, he can only rest next turn. So he really nailed himself again. Poor guy is having the worst luck possible in this game. And that is going to be the end of his turn. Now we're going to move on to Daniel. So really, Daniel should have gone first because he was in the frontier. And that's okay. So in the frontier, remember, he is doing this one. He is attempting to protect settlers from Indian renegades. It says your leadership is called upon. We need a 16 in either combat or frontier. We get a lot of rewards and some penalties if we fail. And we're going to see what the bonus is. Draw 2 skill cards. So actually that was a good thing. Daniel's a pretty lucky guy. Let's see what he gets here. Yeah, so he only has, the only thing he can really play on this that's really effective is this. It is a 5. Trick shot. When played as a trump on an adventure, you may reuse the first card of the destiny, or refuse the first card of the destiny, and have a new card dealt. So in drawing this, he's going to get to draw a card and discard it or keep it. This gives him an 11, right? Or actually, sorry, a 7, 12, plus his combat 13, 14, 15, 16. He's already won, and remember, he gets to draw 2 cards as a result because of the token. Or it says draw 2 skill cards. I don't know if, I guess that means during the, yeah, I would have to assume that means during the adventure because that's what those are for. Anyway, here's his draw. So he easily succeeded that adventure. That is awesome. Let's take a look and see what happens for him. Well, he gets +1 to his skill, a skill. It's got to be one of the 2. I think since he's already got a 4 in combat, do we make it a 5? Yeah, we'll make it a, or do we make a 2 on this frontier skill? I think, yeah, let's make it a 2 on the frontier skill. He'll go to up to a 2 there. And then he gets to choose. He can choose either a fame, and looking at the cards that are up for purchase, he's got 2 happiness tokens now. So he can choose a fame and a, or he gets a fame and a happiness token, or a a status or fame token. So and a hardship card. Let me think about this one. My bad. He gets all this stuff. He gets both of these. He gets to choose one of those, and he gets a hardship token. So, or card. So I think we're first going to get. We're going to get the ones that are obvious. We're going to get a fame, and a 3rd happiness, and that's awesome. Because I think he can do something. Well, he can't do anything with that really. And then we have the choice of another fame token or a status token. And I think he'll take the status token right now. Yes, he will take the status token. So he's got, that's his lot right there. That was the part of the reward. Now the other part of the reward is he does have to draw a hardship card. Let's see what he gets. Ooh, deathly ill. You are nursed back to health by an Indian medicine man. After protecting settlers from the Indians, he then took ill, and the Indians themselves nursed him back. He's learning a lot. The medicine man and 3 squaws, maybe it's from a different tribe that found him or something. Who knows? You must choose the rest action as your next action. So he too, even though he gets to add this to his legacy, and it gives him +3, that's huge, he too is going to have to rest next turn. So we'll keep this on his card, and it will go away. And that is all of the actions for this turn. And now we're going to go to Sarah's rest action. Okay, so what does she get to do in her rest action? She gets to draw 4 skill cards or take a true grit. She can draw the 4 skill cards. She may trade any 2 reward tokens for 1 supply of time. She may buy a card. She's actually just going to... actually, you know what? Let me look at her cards again. She may not... Yeah, she's going to draw 4 skill cards and go back down instead of take a true grit. So 1, 2, 3, and 4, and then I'll decide which one she's keeping, and we'll continue on. So basically, that's her rest action. She's not going to do much else. She's not going to trade tokens. So she just wanted to get some different cards. The cards she had weren't allowing her to do much on these adventures. So that's going to end our player's turn again. So we're going to go into the evening phase. Let's do that. Okay, well now we're in the evening phase, and the first thing we're going to do during the evening phase is we're going to check for the victory conditions. Now they don't exist, so we're okay there. Then we're going to buy, the players in play order can buy reward cards. Nobody can really buy anything. Daniel's close, but no cigar. He's got a lot of tokens, but not the specific ones he needs to buy something. He's missing a couple of things. So the next thing we're going to do is we're going to pass the first player token over to Thomas. So that's going to go to Thomas. And then the last thing we'll resolve that and go to our next sunrise phase since we're here. So in the sunrise phase, we're going to age the give the invocation prayer. We're going to draw a new frontier card here, which is going to be the first Texas cattle drive. Drive 1,000 head of cattle to St. Louis Rail Yard, earning you the title of cowboy. Which is a combined group. This is a big group adventure of 40, requiring both frontier and wealth skills, and it gives you a bunch of bonuses. So remember, the card itself is a bonus, so there's 4 rewards here, so if they all go, they can all benefit. Of course, they know how Thomas, this gets discarded as well, and we get to add a new one to the board. Okay, then this one over here ages, and that is going, now this would normally be exposed here if it hadn't been already, but it already is. And I'm going to collect everybody's tokens from the board, and we are good to go. That is it for the turn, guys. Thanks so much. That was a fun turn. I'm throwing cards all over the table. Anyway, not quite as wild a turn as the last time, but still interesting. I thought it was very interesting that everybody lost, and 2 of the characters are going to have to rest next turn. That means it's very likely that this one might fall off the adventure and get replaced without getting solved, which would be too bad because it wasn't really that hard. They just had bad luck on the draws. So that's it for the adventure tonight, guys. Thanks for watching. Thanks for subscribing. I hope you're enjoying this series. I am. This game is cool. There's a lot of neat things in this game that I like. And I can't wait to see how in the end everybody's legacy gets built out. It's going to be fun. So anyway, guys, give me your feedback. Help me tell the story even further. Come up with some creative prose around what happened this turn. It's been a lot of fun seeing people interject things like that. And I will talk to you again in the next episode. Thanks. Take care.